Sup?
I mean, it is what it is, though. Yeah.
What's good, Lava? How you doing? I'm doing better. I'm feeling better. How you been, Lava? Thankfully got good results back, so we big chilling. I feel that. What you up to? What you up to, Lava? You want Raising Cane's? Honestly, I don't want to taste it. 15 years for me to make space to re-download Dokkan. Oh, shit. Before we download Soul Resonance. Tonight on Triple Z update drops, which should include co-op. Oh, bet. We can find them. Yo, Dark Shinobi, how you doing?
I put this one in there, but I didn't play it for no purpose. I have my PC, so I was like, I'll just put it back in here for I'm about to
How you doing, Dark? What's good?
You can do a lot better than that.
Oh, 39 TP medals is not bad. Why you use Energy Zone? In case my health goes down. This dude Dark, man. I hope his shoelaces are untied. How am I doing? I'm stable. I'm alright. Could be better.
Sorry, won't go easy on you.
Yeah, I'm fine. Why you ask? We got good news. Gotta keep the positive. Yeah, they did.
Whoa, you're really well trained, aren't you?
They gave me some medicine. So it's been helping. That's for sure.
Trey's gonna be down there. He said he's gonna be down there at 7th because he has to set up, and I'm gonna help a little.
No complaints here. You're incredible.
Apparently.
First service in the kitchen.
Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, I bet.
This is getting fun. Whoa, you're really well trained, aren't you? This isn't good. You're pretty strong. I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
I could actually see a Saiyan being like,
here? You're incredible!
Okay, alright. Chilling.
Yeah, I played it from time to time when I just want to play some fun, something fun.
Pretty good! You're pretty strong! No complaints here! You're incredible! Pretty good! Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? This is good. complaints here. You're incredible. Well done. Make sure to keep training. You can do a lot better than that. Really well trained, aren't you?
I'm good for right now.
Pretty good.
I think I might just like make myself toast.
This is
I guess like melted butter and toast. Toast, bananas, applesauce.
you're pretty strong. You can do a lot better than that.
Is that Burkholder? What happened to that guy? Huh?
Say again?
happens here, you're incredible! Pretty good! This isn't good. You're pretty strong! I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome! Make me get serious. Come on. Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? This is getting fun! This isn't good. You're pretty strong. You can do a lot better than that. This isn't looking good. I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome! Sorry, won't go easy on you. Really well trained, aren't you? Pretty good. This isn't looking good. What power? No complaints here. You're incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
What's up, Hakai? Any here strong to help make quests? Hakai, what quest? What quest do you need help on? Also, great to see you. Yeah, is there a certain quest?
Won't go easy on you. This isn't looking good. What power?
No, I haven't. Maybe I should.
You can do a lot better than that.
Okay, give me 1 second. I have to do something real quick. I'll be right back.
Alright, I'm back. Yo, what's up, Zach? What do you need help with, Akai?
How'd it go? How'd you die?
I got Joe. Big Bang. Which quest is that? Okay, so times 100. Parallel quest. Oh. Oh. Yeah, yeah, Hakai, I got you. What's up, love over hate? Hakai, what's your PSN? Good afternoon. How you doing, man? It's good. Give me one second. I'm gonna assume this is you. Alright, Xenoverse. Hakai, what's your PSN? Who's at the father's side has made him known. John 1:18. What's your gamer tag? My name in game is Borax. Like, what's your... Okay, what's under your name? Like, you see how my name is Sinich, and my gamer tag is the Legacy U. What's your gamer tag? Hakai Shin? Okay, there's a couple of those. Do you have any numbers in your name, or... Actually, Hakai, you can just send me a friend request. That way it makes it easier. play on Steam? I'm on PlayStation right now. Oh, you're on Steam. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, there's no crossplay either, so. I mean, I have this game on Steam. I just haven't played it. Whatever. Alright, there we go. Yeah, because you're on Steam, we don't have crossplay in this game yet. Well, at all. So, unfortunately, I cannot help. If any can join. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't join, Hakai. I would help you.
Pretty good. Whoa. You're really well trained, aren't you? This isn't good. What power? I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
You good? Okay.
I'm not doing 100 push-ups.
Sorry, won't go easy on you.
Wait, what was this?
Wait,
Pretty good.
wait. All will be revealed in due time, aka tomorrow. Wait, so something's dropping for Rivals? What is that in the back? Is this Savage Land? It looks like potentially a Savage Land skin or something.
This is a skin for a kid. But revealing all tomorrow. Is this Lady Loki? Yeah, this gotta be Lady Loki. If I have to see this, so do you. What does that mean?
Super Cartel. Dark.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man.
No
I know
complaints here.
I used to
You're
do that in the
incredible.
past. Why is this on your feed? No, I have more questions. Why is that on your feed, Dark?
On your feet. I don't know, bro. Dark, let me find out you a freak. Freaky frog. Actually, eating the toast was good.
Well done. Make sure to keep training. ground! Well done! Make sure to keep training! Pretty strong! I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome! Well trained, aren't you? This is getting fun! It isn't over yet! power! I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome! I'll fight you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God! Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? This is... You're pretty strong! You can do a lot better than that! well trained, aren't you? This is getting fun! This isn't good. You're pretty strong! Well done! Make sure to keep training! Really well trained, aren't you? This is getting fun! This isn't good. You're pretty strong! Well done! Make sure to keep training!
don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
I'll fight you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God! Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? You're pretty good! But this isn't good. You're pretty strong! No complaints here! You're incredible!
Well done! Make sure to keep training. Trained, aren't you? I'll fight you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God. Pretty good. Pretty strong. Well done. Make sure to keep training.
Middle of the night is hardly a life to aspire to, but still, it's the idea that he fights for other people. So Batman values his life. What do you do when you're facing off against someone who doesn't? Who doesn't care if they live or die? It's almost impossible to predict what they're going to do. And so that's why Jason says, I only get one shot, and I know where we are immediately. The chemical smell gives it away. Ace, where he was born. And they initially start taunting each other, right? When Joker like takes off in the Ace Chemical Factory and Jason Todd, you know, is just like, come out and fight, coward, you know, all that kind of stuff. He just says, I'm stepping into the catwalk when I hear it. The faintest laughter like a hiss. And that's one of the coolest things, is because the way the Joker's depicted here, it's not like Steve Englehart's Joker, right, from the old Detective Comics back in the day. Steve Englehart's Joker is the basis behind the Laughing Fish storyline, and like the entirety of Joker as he's seen in Batman the Animated Series. But the way that he's done here is very reminiscent of like the New 52 Scott Snyder run. Well, he almost seems like this evil, demonic, mythological being, right? He's human, but not really human. Like, there's just something extra spiritual dimensional about it. Right? And so, again, like, once Joker lunges at Jason Todd just, like, opens fire. Right? And Joker just says, I've been shot plenty of times, kid, but this one feels kind of fun. And he's like, what did you shoot me with? And that's where Jason says, Batman spent years on a cure. Luckily, he never found one, because you don't deserve a cure. There's nothing human about you. Whatever you are, never should have crawled out of that Batman. So these bullets are my idea of a cure. The compound in the bullet, it was produced from the same chemicals that made you, but amplified 1,000 times over. Death by the very stuff that should have killed you in the first place. And literally, Joker's just like this horrific, mutated beast. And literally, he just says, nicely played. But I also brought a few toys, and just like throws an explosive at Jason Todd, which knocks him off the catwalk and sends him falling into the vat of chemicals, which is like a fate worse than death for Jason. Again, his greatest fear, because it's him being turned into the Joker. And that's where he says, right, not like you. And Joker tells him, no one's like me. That's the real joke. No one else could have survived this chemical bath. I am 1 in a million, which turns out to be true, because in these final moments, Jason Todd starts turning into the Joker, and then just kind of starts melting and wasting away, and dies. And so in that moment, we go to round 2, because keep in mind, best out of 3 rounds. I told you guys, it's subtle, but it's phenomenal at the same time, because what you end up doing is you pick up to like when they initially fought each other in Death in the Family. And Jason says, barely time to think, what for? And he says, there's another person who defined me, and that's Batman. Some people will only ever see Robin. And he says, but not just any Robin, the Robin who died. So here and now, I'm rewriting my story. The heart could have chosen anywhere, but it chose this location. And he says, I just want to watch this rematch too. So let's do this. Now, this is my comic book as well. What it is it's Jason Todd taking back his own past. Because again, for all the talk about the idea that he's not defined by a Joker, he is. The Joker defined Jason in ways that irrevocably changed him into something beyond just a sidekick of Batman. His return as the Red Hood, taking on the criminal world of Gotham City and the Under the Red Hood storyline, his vendetta against the individuals who commit crime, the desire to kill them if need be, all that is just a more restrained version of the Joker. A willingness to take life in the name of a moral compass that he has defined for himself. It's one of the things that differentiates Jason Todd from someone like Batman. But the idea of him being killed by the Joker in Death of the Family was that defining moment. So it's almost like anyone out there who's ever been victimized and is afraid to like go down that path that led them to becoming victimized, right? A person whose car was broken into, or a person who was assaulted in some kind of a way, taking that back by being willing to do those things again and kind of demonstrating to themselves that there really is nothing to be afraid of. And so that's why he says, right, it's strange to be this young again. I forgot how angry I was then, full of fury, heart pounding in my ears, adrenaline like liquid fire, because that's the other part of Jason Todd. When he was young, he was full of rage. He was pissed off all the time. And so when Joker finally gets the upper hand on him and cracks him over the head with a crowbar, it's history repeating itself, right? And he says, no, not again. This can't happen. This cannot be how I lose. I am not that kid anymore. And so just like in the original Death in the Family story, there's a bomb in the room. He's being beaten to death by the Joker. The bomb is counting down to 0. And so that's when he says, time for another secret. And he says, back then, I held back because I was worried if I fought back, I would kill the Joker. And that kid, he would have rather died than disappoint Batman. And I don't give a flying...
Scott Comfort Plus is the perfect balance of soft and strong. Get more with Scott.
No, I have an Amazon. I had an Amazon so we can watch it.
I was not in the place that I wanted to be, but I worked for it. Like, I worked to be where I really wanted to be.
Crap. What Batman thinks now. And he says, I could just let you die in this explosion. But ultimately, he gets his payback. And this is where the title comes in, right? He says, like I said, People look at me and think of Batman. I am his doing, his scar. So that's why I will fight like him, hold, control, break every bone in the Joker's body. And that's when he just stands over Joker with a crowbar and just says, beg Joker, beg. And that's when Joker just looks at him and says, please kill God. And he just like open fires on Jason Todd with a handgun. Right? But like Jason got in the way, the bomb goes off, and instead it's the Joker who dies, and it's not Jason Todd. Jason really just like carries his body out of us and it's KO. So at this point, they're 1-1. So now we have to take this final fight before one of those on to the next round. And it's that much. Gaining the power on the part of Apocalypse and becoming the antithesis to Darkseid. So basically equal to Darkseid in power, but trying to kill Darkseid at the same time. And so when this final round starts, Jason says 1-1, only one fight left. What form to pick? And he says, think. And then he says, the heart flashes moments before me. So much of my life defined by two figures, Batman and Joker. But then he asks, what's mine? What is my form? And that's an important thing, because it also seems to be one of these first moments where Jason Todd starts asking him the question, who am I if I don't consider myself defined by Batman and the Joker? It's a very personal story, because he
You
says,
can do a
Red
lot
Hood,
better
and he
than
says,
that.
and then I remember my name. Sure, Joker was Red Hood once, but there were so many others. There were older games that used the name, because the Red Hood has always been a Gotham phrase, slang in the bad parts of town.
What is this,
where kids
Dark?
like me
Let me
grew up.
see.
The Red Hood did it, not me. Blame it on the Red Hood. Red Hood was the guy who did the thing, the bad guy in the shadows. My friends and I played Red Hood as kids. Whoever was
Bro,
Red
why are
Hood
they trying to
had
push the
chase the
PS6
others
so...
down, hunt them. I
Like,
even
why are they
used
trying to
draw
push it?
him. The Red Hood was our
We
boogeyman,
barely got
a slum
the
legend,
PS5.
an icon, a story much older than Batman or Joker. And I know then what form I have to take. A me some years from now, a little older, maybe not as fast or strong, but wiser. A Red Hood with a long legend all his own. And so it's really what he imagines himself
Hey,
to be. But for those of you guys who are
the RAM prices are freaking crazy right now, Dark.
you're starting to realize
And I wanted to buy some... I wanted to buy RAM, but... Oh my
the
god.
DC KO event, which is that DC is setting the stage for what Jason Todd is going to become after DC KO is over. Like, this is one of those stories that happens in the world of us. It's called a launch pad story. Like, this is a story that gets done, where what DC does is they take what happens here and use it as a launch pad to set in motion a new series of stories involving this character. So this version of Jason Todd that you see here, who looks dark, this is going to be what Red Hood will be after the events of DC KO. More confident, a little wiser, probably not nearly as violent as he used to be, which your knowledge may vary on whether or not that's a good thing, but maybe his way through this. That's when the Joker runs up on him as the Red Hood. Now, a little bit of explanation, because I think this bit might kind of throw people off. In DC Comics, if you think of Joker as the Red Hood, most likely you're thinking of the Killing Joke, which is the old school Alan Moore story that was like the first real origin of Joker in DC Comics. The version you're seeing here is kind of that idea as it was reworked in the New 52, when the Joker first got a New 52 origin in DC Comics. So it's kind of blending the two things together, but it really is more New 52 origin of Joker than it is the Killing Joke. But regardless of how you slice it, the two start looking at each other. And that's what the Joker said. Nice try, kiddo. But whatever form you pick, you will never be more than a footnote. And so in a lot of ways, it almost feels like the Joker represents Jason Todd's subconscious, right? If you're someone who struggles with like anxiety or depression, it's that voice in the back of your head that tells you the end times are coming or you're never going to be enough. And it's kind of amazing that Joker's represented as that within this story. And so that's why Jason says, I don't listen to him this time, right? I rarely hear him at all. Is he laughing, screaming? I don't know. He means so little all of a sudden. I'm not part of his story anymore. He is part of mine, and he's not my boogeyman. I am his. So again, Jason Todd taking his story back, and that's why he says he fights like an animal, like something caged. something guilty. And the guilty are who I chase, who I hunt. It's an executioner's hood, red for the blood of evil men. And he says, just before he finally dies, I see his true face, and I don't care. And he says, victory, I guess, right? I lost a lot of blood, I feel lightheaded. Even if I die alongside him, I know I was not created by the Joker or by Batman. I made myself. I'm my own hero. I am the Red Hood. I know he has some trick up his sleeve, some way to live on, but it doesn't matter, because tonight and forever, we both know who really won. And so that's when you realize the Joker effectively has a way to jumpstart his own heart. So even though he was momentarily killed by the Red Hood, Joker's heart jumpstarts and he wins. So basically, he goes on to the next round while Jason gets left behind. But you're kind of putting it up here, right? That this really is a Jason Todd redemption story. It's him redefining himself as a character. No longer a Robin who is killed, and no longer a Robin who is killed by the Joker. Batman and Joker don't define him anymore. That he's his own character. I told you guys, it's a phenomenal comic book. It's subtle, it's subdued, it's not loud, and it's not obnoxious, it's not crazy. Like, it really is just Jason coming to terms with his own past. So, that being said, guys, we're going to bring this video to an end. Hopefully, now I'm stuck to the counter with sticky honey. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are here with the conclusion of Darkseid War. As always, if you need to get caught up, you will find a link to the playlist down in the description and at the end of the video. So, what this does is this picks up with Lex Luthor, who now has the power of Darkseid, and has had it for a little while, but he's finally shown up on the battlefield to face off against the Anti-Monitor. And Lois Lane says, Lex Luthor used to be envious of Clark's power, but the power of gods has exchanged hands. And she says, Darkseid is dead. The being that killed Darkseid is named Mobius. He is older than Zeus, cooler than Ares, driven to burn our world for the sheer pleasure of it. And that's where Superwoman, right? This is Lois Lane from Earth 3. It's just like the baby is coming. Now, there's a caveat to this.
I got a good
it's
crowd.
a huge caveat that happens during the events of Darkseid War. But Lex chimes in and he says, that's your problem, Diana. All of you. You think you need a league to get things done. You have no idea how to use your power. And Wonder Woman comes back in with this monologue, and she says, Lex has absorbed some of Darkseid's power and is controlling his army of parademons. I'd say his mind is clouded like the minds of Barry, Bruce, and the others infected by the gods. But in moments of perceived strength, men like Lex become arrogant. It's only in moments of weakness and vulnerability that men like him see the truth. And the truth, we will never survive this by working apart. And that's when the crime syndicate comes to Wonder Woman, but not as allies, to actually chase her off, because they say, move away from Superwoman before we decide to focus our desire for revenge on you instead of Mobius. And where she initially says, right, like, you guys agreed to help. Jessica says, we agreed to help destroy that monster, Princess. Nothing more. Which is true. The crime syndicate agreed to help the Justice League because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but it is a tenuous alliance at best. That's where Grit comes in, right? Bruce Lee's version of Cyborg, he says, delivery is imminent, Owlman. The Messiah comes. And so that's why Owlman chimes back in and he says, wasn't I clear when he went, get away. And that's where the Diana starts. She's about to be killed. We have to get Superwoman somewhere safe, away from Mobius. And that's what Owlman essentially tells her. You have no clue what's going on here. You don't understand the significance of all of this. He's like, away from him. We're not going anywhere. That's the entire point. She is giving birth to the Messiah. And I will say that the baby she gives birth to is cracked. It's so overpowered. So what ends up happening is Wonder Woman says, Superwoman screams, and every piece of glass in Gotham shatters. The earth cracks beneath us, and Owlman waits, while Mobius fights his way towards Batman. He wants the chair back, and we don't know why. Now that's a cool thing, right? Because the Mobius chair was created by Mobius. It is a source of information, right? It knows everything that's happening right now and everything that's ever happened over the course of the universe that's been observed by Metron when he occupied the chair, which essentially is literally everything, right? Metron was like DC's Watcher. But the true machinations of the chair, its true power, is lost. It's unknown. And so that's when you have Lex and Anti-Monitor facing off against each other. And the Monitor just says, stand aside, Lex Luthor, and I will burn you from existence quickly. You cannot protect the League from me for long. My shadow demons, and that's where Lex says, they're being burned away, consumed by the Omega effect. But my army, and that's where the Anti-Monitor says the Parademons, they die, but they do not fear. No pain, no emotion, like killing universes from afar. It is utterly unsatisfying. I thirst for suffering. And that's where Lex is like, then I'll oblige. And just like attacks the Anti-Monitor. It's amazing. But these two guys are at standstill. Their power is essentially equal. And so at that point, you jump back to Batman occupying the Mobius chair. And he says, you told us that there was a way to stop Mobius. That you would tell us when it was time. I would say this qualifies. And that's where Owlman just says, yes, we have a weapon that can kill him. And the question is, what weapon? But Batman has the Mobius chair. The Mobius chair gives him answers in addition to telepathy, reading the minds of the people around him. And that's when he says, the chair knows, Diana. That's why Mobius wants it. He wants to learn the secret to this weapon that Owlman is referring to, the baby. So in the moment, the entire reason for making on wanting the chair is just hesitation. But again, the entire theme here is when he told Batman, you do not understand the chair's true purpose. And so in that moment, Jessica Cruz chimes in and she says, so you know, that's fine. Once the child is born, we will take care of Mobius in getting you. And so that's why she just says, hurry up and get it out already, Superwoman. We do not have all day. The crime syndicate, besides being a team, if we're being honest with ourselves, are very similar to like the Seven from the Boys mythos. Like, yes, they're a team, but they don't really like each other very much. Right? It's really just kind of the grand pursuit of power that unified them in the first place. But here's the other thing too, right? Superwoman kind of gets around in Earth 3 because there was a point when we initially learned about her and the idea that she was pregnant, we thought that it was either Ultraman's kid or Owlman's kid. And it turns out it's not the child of either. Because what she says is she says, Owlman, Thomas, it's not yours. And he's like, I know that. And she just says, don't hurt my baby. And he's like, hurt it? No. I need it. And so then you switch over to Jessica Cruz. Right now, keep in mind, Volthoom, basically Power Ring from Earth 3, he's the one controlling Jessica. So she doesn't really have control of herself. But she is there. And she says, I can see through Volthoom's eyes. He is in my body, and Grid's there in yours. And she just says, God, I hope this works. Because what we end up learning is that when Cyborg initially tried to shut down the Ring of Volthoom and essentially had his consciousness replaced with Grid, right, Cyborg from Earth 3, there was actually more to it than that. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of fans of Cyborg will tell you he's incredibly slept on in DC Comics. He doesn't quite get his respect, which is fair. The guy's the security guard for the Justice League Watchtower. But outside of that, like, people just don't respect Cyborg. But honestly, man, when it comes down to it, bro, Victor Stone is the guy who walked in your corner, man. This dude can get the Justice League out of some really tight spots, in addition to shouting booyah all the time. But the thing about this is that when she pushes through, basically this kind of barrier that keeps Justice League's consciousness locked away inside the Power Ring, she meets Cyborg, Victor Stone's consciousness. And she asks, like, what happened to you? You look good. And he says, it's only a projection. So then she asks, how did you get stuck in the ring with me? And that's when he says, when I connected with the ring, I downloaded my consciousness into it. And she asks why. And he says, maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am. I thought I could help move you back in the driver's seat. But this alien tech is taking longer to decipher than I thought it would. He's hacking the ring, which is one of the coolest things. He's hacking a Green Lantern ring, which is dope. And so at that point, you jump back to Lex and you jump back to the Anti-Monitor. Now, you guys have all heard the infamous phrase, Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what Lex Luthor is contending with. He's arguably the smartest man in the DC universe. But even the smartest people in the world are not beyond the influence of extreme levels of power. And so that's why he says, you've given me an experience I never imagined possible. The death of a god at my hands. And he says, then Superman, yes, I am Darkseid. And then he corrects himself, right? I am Lex Luthor.
You're
He's
seriously
losing
awesome.
himself in the power. He's losing himself in the Omega Sanction. And so ultimately, that's when you switch over to Scott Free and Big Barda, right? Their idea is Lex Luthor needs our help because now he's fighting a war on two fronts. He's fighting this conflict against the Anti-Monitor, which is taking everything he has, but it's also a psychological war, a war for his very essence. And that is not a very easy conflict. And so truth to tell, if this fight goes on too long without Lex Luthor getting any help whatsoever, either he will become the new Darkseid, corrupted by the Omega Sanction, or he will die. One of two possibilities here. And so that's when you switch over to Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, like the Trinity, going to the aid of Luthor. But one of the things that Superman says is we have to prioritize. The Syndicate, and seemingly he was going to continue on and say the Syndicate needs to be our main focus. But Batman's response is, no, right? The Syndicate does not have to be our focus. He says they're only concerned about Superwoman. Mobius is the more dangerous threat now. And so that's where Wonder Woman asks, why call the baby a weapon? And Batman says, because of its father. And she asks, who is that? But we don't get a direct answer to it. Instead, you kind of start jumping back and forth between Scott Free and Big Barda, Scott Free talking to Barda and saying, we cannot leave Earth. Now keep in mind, Barda was formerly one of the Furies. We've mentioned that before. She was essentially an agent of Darkseid at one point in time. Her and Scott Free fell in love. They quite literally ran away together, and she abandoned her post as an agent of Darkseid. And it's kind of been with Scott Free ever since. This is one of those times where she asks, do you truly believe in the Justice League? And he says, I do, and I need to. I need you here with me, always with me. I love you, Barda, because again, one of the things that I want to reiterate that we've mentioned before, this is not a long-standing alliance between Mr. Miracle and the Justice League. They've never met before. They don't know each other. And so when Big Barda asked the question, do you truly trust these guys? It's basically her asking, you just met them. Do you really believe that this world is worth saving along with them? Because keep in mind, Scott Free and Big Barda are not of the main DC universe. They're of like the new gods and all that kind of stuff, that whole mythos. They can go to any reality they want to. So it's like, why stay here and save these guys if we don't have to? It's not so much that she's denying his request. It's him saying the Lanterns are doing some damage to that Shadow Army, but they could use some help. Light Ray's disc is gone, but your Mega Rod might help. Barda just kind of looks down at what appears to be a moment of sadness and teleports away. Now, she will become stupendously important here in a little bit. And so with Batman on the Mobius chip, because he knows everything that's going on, and he can read people's minds, his ability to read minds is not limited, which is to say, he can read the mind of the Anti-Monitor. And so that's when he says, he's going to fire to your right, Superman. You have an opening, Diana. He's a strategist. Now, what's really awesome about this is that even though it's only momentary, if you were ever a fan of Martian Manhunter and Grant Morrison's JLA, this is what he would do. Martian Manhunter always kind of served as like a telepathic link among all the members of the Justice League. And so if there was some kind of crisis in the world that the other members of the League were not aware of, Martian Manhunter could alert them to that. More so than that, if they were facing off against some massive threat and it required strategy to work together, he's the one that would unify them, right? Wonder Woman on your left, Superman, Duck, that kind of a thing. Telling them how to fight strategically against a foe that they would normally be unable to defeat on their own. It's pretty amazing. And so that's when Batman chimes into Superman and says, your cellular structure is reacting again at Superman. You need to step back, take a break. And that's where he just says, I have to get rid of it. I have to get rid of this power. The solar energy from Apocalypse has been rotting my cells, poisoning my mind. It's time to let it go. And so he takes all that power and channels it into the Anti-Monitor. And so that's when Batman asks, right, Shazam, the people of Gotham. And Shazam says, everybody's clear, guys, but us. We're the only ones here. And of course, the Justice League are willing to sacrifice their lives to defeat a foe if it's necessary. But at the end of the day, despite this massive discharge of power at the hands of Superman, Mobius stands strong and just says, that hurt both of us, but mostly you. Why won't you just stay down? And like blast Superman and sends him flying. And that's when Lex shows up and just says, you should listen to him, Superman. He says, all this time, I've wondered about you, whether you've held your power back or not. Feeling power myself, I believe you have. But why? Because you didn't want to hurt anybody or cross an imaginary, ethical, or political line that you just made up? Or are you afraid of it? And that's where Superman just tells him, you're projecting. And Lex says, maybe so, maybe not. But then that's where the Flash shows up. Again, he's possessed by Black Racer, an embodiment of death. And he says, you should be afraid. And Lex just asks, why is that, Flash? And the Flash says, I'm trying to help, but it's making me wait. And it sucks to wait. And so Lex asks, wait for what? And that's where Barry says, death is coming. Someone is going to die here today. And so Mobius just comes charging and just says, heir to Darkseid, you will suffer his fate. Look into my eyes and show me how much it hurts. Whisper your regrets. Pray, scream, and die. But in that moment, Grail boom tubes back in along with her mom. Keep in mind, in the last video that we did, Grail had taken Steve Trevor and disappeared. We had no clue what it was that she did with him. We just knew that she took the former love interest of Wonder Woman. And so that is when Barry, in seeing all of this, just says, you should run. All of you. Leave now. In that moment, you jump back to Superwoman, right? And she's starting to give birth to this kid. And Grid chimes in and he says, Grail and her mother have returned along with their creature. I'm detecting a fourth entity with them. Its power levels are unclear. And that's where the chair pings to Batman. And that's when Hal's is just like, what is it now? And Batman just says, it's a boy. Superwoman has given birth to her kid. And she just says, now, finally, it's time to play. And she just says, I will say it is. And Wonder Woman's caught off guard. Batman's chair is going absolutely haywire. Things are going nuts, right? Steve Trevor's just standing there, right? Just crackling with energy. And the Anti-Monitor is like yet another human infused with the power of a god. He will die with the others. And so the whole time, Marina, the mother of Grail, just asks, what are you doing? And Grail just says, having fun. And she says, do it, Trevor. And Trevor initially cries out for help to Wonder Woman and just says, help me. And then in that moment, fires off a massive amount of energy and kills Mobius on the spot. He one-shots him. One-shots the Anti-Monitor. My God. And so at that moment, Wonder Woman's just like, the battlefield changes. Mobius is dead. And so Grail's just standing there with Steve, and she says, your boy toy is going to destroy you now, Diana. Death. And he says, you should be afraid. And Lex just asks, why is that, Flash? And the Flash says, I'm trying to help, but it's making me wait. And it sucks to wait. And so Lex asks, wait for what? And that's where Barry says, death is coming. Someone is going to die here today. And so Mobius just comes charging and just says, heir to Darkseid, you will suffer his fate. Look into my eyes and show me how much it hurts. Whisper your regrets. Pray, scream, and die. But in that moment, Grail boom tubes back in along with her mom. Keep in mind, in the last video that we did, Grail had taken Steve Trevor and disappeared. We had no clue what it was that she did with him. We just knew that she took the former love interest of Wonder Woman. And so that is when Barry, in seeing all of this, just says, you should run. All of you. Leave now. In that moment, you jump back to Superwoman, right? And she's starting to give birth to this kid. And Grid chimes in and he says, Grail and her mother have returned along with their creature. I'm detecting a fourth entity with them. Its power levels are unclear. And that's where the chair pings to Batman. And that's when Hal's is just like, what is it now? And Batman just says, it's a boy. Superwoman has given birth to her kid. And she just says, now, finally, it's time to play. And she just says, I will say it is. And Wonder Woman's caught off guard. Batman's chair's going absolutely haywire. Things are going nuts, right? Steve Trevor's just standing there, right? Just crackling with energy. And the Anti-Monitor is like yet another human infused with the power of a god. He will die with the others. And so the whole time, Marina, the mother of Grail, just asks, what are you doing? And Grail just says, having fun. And she says, do it, Trevor. And Trevor initially cries out for help to Wonder Woman and just says, help me. And then in that moment, fires off a massive amount of energy and kills Mobius on the spot. He one-shots him. One-shots the Anti-Monitor. My God. And so at that moment, Wonder Woman's just like, the battlefield changes. Mobius is dead. And so Grail's just standing there with Steve, and she says, your boy toy is going to destroy you now, Diana, and he's going to destroy all of you. Because in that moment, the battle shifts, and now it's a fight against Darkseid's daughter. But the plot thickens. Because what happens here is Wonder Woman gives us this narrative. She says her name is Grail. She's the daughter of an Amazon and of Darkseid, born on the hidden island of Themyscira the same night I was. Her mother Marina took Grail and escaped the island, raising her in secret with one purpose: to destroy her father. Grail traveled across the multiverse in search of someone capable and willing to go to war with Darkseid. She found a being fused with the anti-life equation, the one thing that Darkseid was vulnerable to. And so Grail and Marina orchestrated a war between the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid here on Earth. Darkseid was annihilated, and the Anti-Monitor was freed from the anti-life equation. In the wake of Darkseid's destruction, reality ruptured, power changed hands. While Grail took the anti-life for herself, my friends, the Justice League, became gods. I believed we would stop the Anti-Monitor until Grail created her own new god and destroyed him herself. Grail's weapon is Steve Trevor. Steve was the first man to ever step foot onto Themyscira. That's going to become important. Keep that in the back of your head. And she says, he brought me back to this world. Together, we've protected it from countless threats, mythological and otherwise. He taught me about the good and the bad in life, and I him. And so that's when Grail sends Steve after everybody. And he's just firing off massive amounts of energy. He just says, Diana, you have to stop me. He doesn't want to do it. He's being forced to do it. And she says, you can stop this yourself, Steve. The anti-life equation is all about control. Do not let it control you. But ultimately, the entire nature of the anti-life equation is bending other people to your will. It's almost impossible to resist. In fact, very few people can. And so in this moment, the question has to be asked, why even do this at all? Why would Grail, following the death of Darkseid, which was her main motivation, and the death of Mobius, which she just happened to contribute to, why keep going? Why not walk away? And so Batman says to her, and he says, I know why you're doing this, Grail. And she asks why. And he says, you accomplished your mission. Your father is dead. But the Mobius chair says that even though you fulfilled your purpose, you've become intoxicated with power. You want more. Like father, like daughter. You truly are Darkseid's kid. And so Shazam initially tries to jump in, and Grail starts taking the entire Justice League apart piece by piece. Nothing they can do can stop her. When the Green Lanterns come in and put a cage around her, she breaks through it with an axe that was forged by Hades himself. Literally, these guys are powerless. Not only that, it's really more to torment Wonder Woman than anything else. I don't know that I would go so far as to say that Wonder Woman has the life that was stolen by Grail, but on some surface it is, because Grail always kind of felt like she was being used by her mother in order to instigate a war between Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor in order to hopefully destroy Darkseid. And so even in the face of it all, with all the members of the Justice League powerless against Steve Trevor and the anti-life equation, Lex Luthor finally steps in. And Lex Luthor just says, your ex-boyfriend's asking us to end this, Wonder Woman. And that's where Superman says, no, right? This is not how the League works. No matter the stakes, we find a way. And Lex just says, you are as naive as you are foolish, Superman. I have the power of the Omega effect. I will save the world myself again. And so what you do is you switch over to the crime syndicate, because this baby is the key. And when I told you this baby was overpowered, I was not lying. Because when you have Grid talking to Superwoman and addressing the idea of the Anti-Monitor, one of the things he says is, we have to leave. We have to flee this place. But Superwoman says, nonsense. We ran from our Earth power ring, but there is no need to run now. And Owlman just says, she's right. When our salvation is here, hand over the child. And that's where Superwoman says, because you know whose child it is, Thomas. Not yours, and not Ultraman's. And that's what she says Shazam backwards. And anyone who's familiar with the crime syndicate knows exactly whose child it is. And she addresses that, right? She says, God of Apocalypse, God of Strength, your powers belong to my baby now. Because in that moment, the powers of Lex Luthor are stripped away. And the powers of Superman are yanked away. At least the God of Strength powers that he had. So Superman's back to his normal self. And Superwoman says, son of Alexander Luthor, inheritor of evil. Like his father before him, he is able to absorb all energy, even that of the gods. He will be the most powerful being on Earth in this universe and in any universe. And he will destroy all who stand in our way. And that statement gets cut short because she gets incinerated. She literally just gets crushed. Superwoman dies like that. And Grail is just like blah, blah, blah. She loved to hear herself talk, didn't she, right? She's gone. And so in that moment, Grail, realizing what the baby is, that it is the child of Alexander Luthor from Earth 3. He was a superhero, but had the ability to siphon off the powers of others. She just says, I am going to take this baby and I'm going to use it just like you used me. And so Steve looks and says, Diana, right? And that's what Wonder Woman says, Barry pushes me out of the way. And in that moment, Grail takes the baby and fires it off at Steve Trevor. And Wonder Woman says, what to help me, he has to slow down to do it, enough to be hit. Grail attempts to absorb Flash's god power with the child, but it was not a power that took possession of Barry. It was a sentient entity, the Black Racer. It is separated from Flash, and it is not happy because the Black Racer is now its own thing. And it says, I am not simply energy to be transferred, daughter of Darkseid. And Grail just says, I know what you are, Racer. I also know that you will not leave until someone dies, and you don't care who it is. So, what are you waiting for? You have chosen your target, the man who tried to tame death. Touch him so you can go. Kill the Flash. This is a reference to Final Crisis, when Barry Allen returned by outrunning death. That was one of the revelations that we discovered, and it's why I mentioned the difference between Black Racer and the Black Flash when you guys were asking the question. During Final Crisis, we had actually learned that after Crisis on Infinite Earths, when Barry Allen was quote-unquote dead during the original Crisis event, when he re-emerged during Final Crisis, it turned out he had just been outrunning death the entire time. He was supposed to die, but he escaped, and that's why the Black Racer goes after him, because while he's not technically the Black Flash, Barry is not supposed to be alive. And so in that moment, you switch back over to Jessica Cruz and Cyborg, and that's where Victor says, Shazam's distracted them, given me a foothold to hack into. I'm trying to tap into the ring's supernatural technology, see if I can override Volthoom's control over your body. But the program is not just ones and zeros. I'm sorting through. There's a third numerical quantity, a number that only exists inside Volthoom's ring. I can only describe it as fear. And that's where Jessica says, there is no room for fear right now. And so she starts to overcome it. What happens when a person overcomes fear in the face of almost guaranteed death? They can become a Green Lantern. And so that's the cool thing, because Victor says, I think you're helping me bypass it somehow. Whatever you're feeling, Jessica, keep it up, right? Because she's overcoming her fear. It's the transition story for her character. Up until this point, she was governed by fear, riddled by fear, anxiety. The world controlled her. She was a leaf wafting in the wind, left to the whims and wants of whatever happened to be around her. But in this moment, overcoming that fear, telling that anxiety alarm bell in the back of her head to shut the hell up. This allows her to become the superhero that she always thought she was meant to be. Not in the sense that she becomes a Green Lantern, but in the sense that she retakes control of her body. Because in that moment, when the Racer catches up to Barry and almost kills him, Jessica jumps in the way, and Jessica Cruz stops. She sacrifices herself to save Barry Allen's life. And that's where death just looks around and says, the life has been taken on this call, and the Black Racer leaves. Now Barry does reach down and touch her, check her pulse, and realize, no, she's actually dead. Right? And doing that, when you switch to like Luthor, he says, as is the Omega effect, it stole my power with that time. And that's where Superman says, show some respect and shut your mouth, Luthor. And that's where Luthor's just kind of wrong, because the Green Lantern who wasn't is dead. She betrayed us anyway. And there's some clarification that goes on here, right? It was not the child, it was the two. But at the end of the day, the main threat is the Grail. He said, I'm not going to face all of this. Like, I am Grail the God Killer. And today, all of you gods die. And that's when the
Well done! Make sure to keep training!
You can do a lot better than that. Sorry, we'll go easy on you. Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? This isn't good. What power! No complaints here! You're incredible! No complaints here! You're incredible! You're really well trained, aren't you? Alright, let's do our best. Cheating, pig! This is... What round? I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome! How about you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God? Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? This is... What power! I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
An extra special class is about to begin. I'd better not catch you playing hooky.
Greetings. Greetings.
Okay. Sorry about that. So hard finding people. Hakai, are you on PlayStation? Like, if you have it on PlayStation, then I can help you. I'm pretty sure most of the people that play Xenoverse on Steam, they mod the game. Yeah, I was muted. Had to do some stuff. I only have Steam? Okay. Okay. And is that Candido? Hello, how are you? Oh, so Candido. I'm still in the lab, but I have been making some transformation specific Super Souls. I've been stuff like sucking coffee. I did not drink coffee. I did, however, drink a Coca-Cola. That was good. A nice cold Coca-Cola.
Sup?
Okay. I mean, a nice cold Coca-Cola. It's nice. Just nice. Okay. I'll wait until we got a couple more people in here. Pineapple Fanta. I never had pineapple Fanta. Gotta try it. Okay, I can start it. Got an extra person. Candido, how you doing, man? Oh, I'm almost level 120. Hey, that's good. That's why the TP metal, grinding for TP metals is the best way to level up right now. When will the Festival of Universe start again? Good question. I think probably... I want to say January. Like maybe the beginning of January?
Make sure to keep training.
I need star coins for an aura. Which aura are you trying to get?
and taking these steps can make a big difference.
Getting the right filter, not for your big house, but maybe the room you spend the most time in is going to be very important. And just getting some plants, having
Well done.
someone
Make sure to
sucking up
keep
all that
training.
extra carbon dioxide out there and helping out with their particulate matter is going to be very important.
It's advice Claire takes to heart. Standing next to olive trees, once burned to charcoal, now green again, she hopes other fire survivors don't overlook their own warning signs.
I want to make sure that 3, 5, 10 years from now, we don't have impact that we could have taken better care of right now.
One step at a time, Claire says recovery isn't just about rebuilding homes, it's about protecting long-term health, too.
Like Hero was live yesterday? Yes. I was in that stream.
That was the tagline, the slogan, that phrase. Where does that
Well trained, aren't you? Pretty good. I'll find you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God.
Me too. Hey, chillin'.
No complaints here. You're incredible.
Sorry. He hurt you. You're scared. It's okay. Georgia. It's okay to be scared.
Samir's considered me bigger?
No, he's definitely bigger.
It's Connor. Guys, you need to get over to the girl enclosure. I'm doing the morning rounds on supper employees and
What is it?
They should do. Oh, Shenanigans versus 3 Idiots? I'd love another one. I'd love if they do that again.
imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save you hundreds.
just clicked out of everything I was looking at. Alright.
Every question about the past spark. And when curiosity strikes about the everyday lives of your family, we're here with answers only your ancestors can provide. How is your family woven into 250 years of
Right
US
there, I
history?
posted it on YouTube. He's probably in the making a new video. Like for example, he's probably him and the Shenanigans are probably doing something with the Yu-Gi-Oh mod. Because Yu-Gi, you shout out to the person who made the mod, but that Yu-Gi Moto mod on Fighters looks really good. So they might do a boss raid for that. I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that. And hey, New Year is almost ready. It's crazy that we're about to be in the new year, and video games have been struggling. At least some of them. And now we also gotta deal with freaking Warner Brothers being bought by Netflix.
No complaints here. You're incredible.
Just lost billions of dollars, Claire.
Tens of billions, actually. Stuff has cameras.
You can do a lot better than that.
Hey, Mark. Yes, yes. Yes, honey. I am on my way, and I am almost there. I know I ran late for something, but
The thumb pointing curse is real? Oh my god. I did it one time, like Sonic Crossword and I lost. Wait, what happened?
I don't believe it! You're seriously awesome!
Mark, I need that book, dead or alive.
Copy that. Neuromuscular synapse activity is the concentration.
Trained, aren't you? Alright, let's do our best. We're cheating, okay? This is getting fun! This isn't good. You're pretty strong! No complaints here! You're incredible!
Yeah, Vegeta always does that. Regardless.
Whoa! You're really well trained, aren't you? I'll fight you at a level that's even higher than Super Saiyan God!
Which rapidly transmits changes to every strand of DNA in a host's body. Mr. Brody, I am the only being who can cure them.
No complaints here! You're incredible!
Silver Oob looking like C-Rex.
I won't go easy on you.
Okay.
No complaints here! You're incredible!
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Alright. Been 3 hours. That's pretty good. I don't know. I might be back on here later. Yeah, might be back on later. Who knows? But for now, thank you all. Hope you all have a good rest of your day or night, whatever time zone. If I stream again, you'll see me on the feed. Alright, peace out. And also, I'll be doing a Twitch stream. I don't know when.